Dear students, I'm going to share a link in chat box for my session where we are going to play an activity and all of you need to access the. Am I audible to you all? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just refer to the link in chat box. Just give me 2 minutes. It's taking some lagging in internet. So last lecture of direct tax, we just discussed basics of tax regarding what is taxation, when it started in India, and so on. So this lecture, we are going to have a small activity where we're going to test how much you remember from the last session. This session, we are going to further discuss about residential status of an individual. Now, why residential status? Because residential status gives an idea whether you are being ordinary, non-ordinary, and so on. And this helps us for claiming the tax. So, in direct taxation, if I'm able to analyze the growth, if I'm able to analyze location, if I'm able to analyze the gender, I can fix out how much income I'm generating and whether I'm resident, then how much I'm taxable. If not, how much are taxable. So in first unit, this is our last part, what we're discussing about residential status. Then in the second unit, we'll start something called as salary. In the morning session, when I discuss AFM, have you ever read about AFM earlier? After tomorrow's session, when we discuss EVA, all of you need to keep your notebook ready because we need to practice about AFM numericals. So I'll just open it once again, the Zoom workplace because it's showing network error and I'll share in chat box the game. Just wait for 2 minutes. I'm sharing now the details in chat box. Give me 2 minutes time. Okay. The game will be played in Kahoot and it will be regarding the wait for 2 3 minutes more. It is taking loading time. So instruction is there. You have to open website called Kahoot.in or I'll just share the link in chat box after some time. Game live. To revise again what we learned to avoid, we learn about Income Tax Act 1961 was started in 1961. 1st April 1962 was its launching date. And basically, we started as a traditional pattern where we followed British rules and we deal with how the taxation comes in, how the taxation talks about. We basically talks about individual, person, then what is the income, what is the section, what is chapter, what is deductions. So person is nothing but the individual who is earning some income, either business, profession, or any other. So this is the income what he earns. Whereas there are other means of source like agriculture, capital gain, and so on. So these source are nothing but considering the benefits which I receive. So when I receive income from salary, it is always a regressive taxation. When my amount increases, my taxation also increases. But in case of capital gain and in case of income from business and profession, whenever and wherever I get some income, it will be claimed as my gains and profits. So the first part of second unit, we are discussing about salary, where numericals will be asked as a question. Now, as far as syllabus is concerned, in 2013, this direct tax was an external subject, and there used to be numerical on salary. But in 2016 pattern and 2019 revised pattern, this subject became an internal part, and then the importance of this subject was not there. They were diluted this subject as an internal factor, and importance was not given to the numericals. But now, since numericals are also added here, we need to discuss about the numericals. Then, as a part of total income, we have third chapter where we are going to discuss about capital gains. In capital gains, we are going to talk about how much gain I'm doing from sale or purchase of any capital assets. So in third chapter, as a part of income, we are going to deal what is the tax, what is a capital asset, what is a long-term capital asset, what is meant by sale of asset, and how the gain is achieved. Then, as a part of total income, we have fourth chapter that is other sources, where we get money as a gift, we get a money as donation, we get money from any other source. That will be considered as my fourth chapter. And most important, last chapter, we are going to talk about exemptions. Now, in total income, we are exemption under three, that is section 10, section 80, and section 24. All these sections are nothing but part of your total income. And this total income competition will be the final chapter of direct tax. Now, my dear students, if you have time and if you have done the project in filing a return like ITR 1, ITR 2, and ITR 3, almost you have completed the syllabus and you have understood what is direct tax. Okay. So, to just revise, can anybody tell me what is meant by person? Who is the person? Anyone? What do you mean by person? It can be right or wrong definition, but at least you can share what do you mean by person so that I can understand whether you are clear or not. Anyone? No one? Okay. Thank you for sharing. Uh, the person or individual is somebody who is earning income, who is getting something, what do you call, the gain from any activity. He can be artificial person, he can be legal person, or anybody. So, a person who's having income from any of source, he is considered as individual. Now, it can be artificial person like company, it can be firm, it can be organization, and so on. So, in case of direct taxation, we are mostly dealing about a person and his income. What I request host to allow me to share on another also. Rohit sir, please allow me to share the screen. I'm sharing the screen by other mobile. So please allow me for the most. Admin, please make me co-host on another screen, which is the Praveen Thorat. Dear students, please wait. There is some technical glitch. We just overcome to that. So my screen is visible to all. We'll talk about this chapter residential status, and then we'll go to the activity part because the activity part is lagging. So we'll go to that part later. The residential status and scope is the remaining part. Now, as a further process, we need to understand what is residential status. Now, why we require to understand this? Because this will help us to calculate a tax liability of a person. This will help us to avoid confusion and issues who will pay the tax, when he will pay the tax, and how he will pay the tax. So, whether a person required to file the taxation in India, whether he is eligible for tax benefits, whether he will get any tax concession, this all will be decided by residential status of a person. Now, who is residential status? As per the Income Tax Act 1961, there are two conditions. One, basic and ordinary. Normally, physical presence in India is considered as a residential status for all other reasons. But for income tax, residential status is determined on two conditions, one basic condition and second advanced condition. There are basically three types of residential status. One, resident and ordinary resident. Second, resident but not ordinary resident. And third, non-resident. Now, in some case, I may be living in India and I'm earning money outside India. So I'm a resident but not ordinary. In case I'm not at all living in India, but I'm just visiting for some time, then I'm a non-resident. Whereas if I'm living in India, earning in India, and using money in India, then I'm resident and ordinary resident. But in case of income tax, there are two basic conditions and three advanced conditions. If I satisfy any one basic condition and all advanced condition, I will be called as a resident and ordinary resident. Whereas if I only satisfy basic condition and no advanced condition, I'll be considered as a resident but not ordinary. And in third case, if I do not satisfy even basic condition as well as no advanced condition, then I will be called as a non-resident. Now, what is basic condition? The basic first condition is I should be in India in previous year for 182 days or more. And second condition, I should be present in India for 60 days or more in current year and 365 days or more in preceding 4 years. So either rule number one or rule number two. If I satisfy, in this case, basic condition, it's very flexible. Either 182 days rule or 60 days rule and 365 day rule. If any one is satisfied, I'm a resident. So basic condition will talk about whether I'm resident or not. So if I satisfy single or both, I'm a resident. And if I do not satisfy any one condition also, then I'm called as a non-resident. Hope I'm clear about this. Now, physical presence is the key, but physical presence means what? In basic condition, it is said 182 days. So in 24 hours period, more than 18 hours physically, if I'm in India for 182 days or more, then I complete one condition. In additional condition, for 18 hours or more, if I'm in India for 60 days in current year and 365 days in preceding years, preceding means previous years, then I match dual condition. If I satisfy rule one or dual condition, then I'm ordinary resident. So my physical residence is more important. Now, what is exception to this? If a person visiting in India for 60 rules change to 182 normal, that is, this rule is amended in 2021. So previous rule was there to call as a resident up to 2021. After that, it changed if I have 182 days period, and secondly, 182 days if my income is more than 15 lakh, excluding foreign income. Whereas they added one more factor, that is deemed resident provision, when my income is less than 15 lakh. If my income is less than 15 lakh, including foreign income, then no tax liability in other country, and you will be considered as deemed resident regardless days are spent. So the criteria of 60 rules, that is the additional second condition, will be applicable if income is more than 15 lakh. But if it is less than 15 lakh, it is deemed resident. So this is the amendment what we have found in a tax law. Now, if he satisfy 182 days or 60 days plus 365, he will be residential. If he do not satisfy any test, he is a non-residential. And if he satisfy both additional or anyone, he is a resident, and no condition satisfied, then he is called as a non-resident. Now take the example. Mr. D spent 165 days in India. He fails 182 day rule, but he stayed 1000 days in last 4 years and 60 days in this year. So he's not completing first condition, but he's completing the second dual conditions. So he's qualified as a resident. If you take second example, he has been in India for two of last 10 years and stayed 730 days in 7 years. Now here we'll find out he is meeting additional dual condition because 365 days he is completing, 60 days period he is completing. So he qualified as a resident and ordinary resident. But in third case, Mr. D was taxed on his global income in India if he is a resident. So what I check, his basic condition he is meeting, his additional condition he is meeting. So he is a resident and ordinary, and so he is taxed in India. Then what is non-resident? It all depends on your days. How many days you're in India, how many days you're out of India, that will decide your residential status. Now, this is the most important table. Who will be taxable and who is not taxable? If I'm an Indian citizen and follow the basic and advanced condition, and I'm in India as a resident and ordinary, my all income, including global, that is Indian and global, will be taxed in India. But in other case, I'm a resident but not ordinary, then only Indian income and other income which is transferred from foreign to India, that is taxable in India. So in first case, all income in India is taxable. In second case, income earned in India and the part of foreign income transfer in India, it is taxable. But for non-residents, all income is not taxable in India. He is totally allowed to tax in his own country. Now, if I classify this is a summarization. If resident and ordinary is all Indian income, foreign investment, rent, business, all things are taxable. But if he is not ordinary resident, then only income which he is earning in India. It can be business outside, but profit is coming to India. It can be house outside, but he is getting India. If he is getting anything in India, he is a taxable. He is only not taxable for any foreign income which he received for the foreign company which he has started in foreign. In all other cases, he considered deemed assessee and taxable. Now, what is impact of residential? The impact of residential is if first case he is an ordinary person, then he must disclose all his global income. He must report as per schedules the declaration that what is his source of income, from where he earned the global income, and so on. He must give details about his taxation, about his liability and assets if he is a resident and ordinary. But if he is a resident and not ordinary, in that case, he is not required to give disclosure about foreign income. Only in case this foreign income is transferred in India or the expenses out of foreign income are made in India, he need to pay the tax when he is a resident and not ordinary. Whereas when he is not resident, that is no basic condition, no advanced condition, then his no income is liable to pay the tax in India. Only in case of special taxes, that is minimum alternate tax, income tax on house property, municipal taxation, he required to pay the taxes. Now, please remember, re- incorrect resident status declared has a fine of 10,000, and this will consider as a willful act, and he will be punished for the same. So, whatever the residential status, it is liability of a person to declare whether he is residential, non-residential, and why. Income tax not going to ask you question, but if your case it is found that you are not a resident and you are filing the return, the government will not make question. But you are resident and not giving any tax, then you are in question. So liability to prove your status is of assessee, means the person who is filing. It's not liability of a government. So when you declare the income which is taxable, please follow the rule and declare your residential status. And that's why when you file a ITR, they will first column will be PAN number, employment details, and residential status. Because that status will make you understand whether you are payable any tax in India or not. Now there are certain special categories for all these. So these are just examples. You need not require to worry about this in examination because these special clarifications are never considered part of exam. If any Indian crew is on a ship, then for him 182 day rules is strictly applicable. This is normally for the merchants. So if I'm on merchant ship for the 6 month or more, rule of 182 days is applicable. Secondly, if employee is leaving India for employment, then special provisions can be applied. And third, if a person of Indian origin and he is under certain condition in India, then he's treated as Indian citizen. So if I have these all categories, these special categories allow me to consider any person, even though he not following any basic condition, as ordinary resident. Whereas if my income is 15 lakhs, more than 15 lakhs, excluding foreign income, and no foreign tax liability, whereas my status is ordinary resident, then also I'm called as a deemed. So for these certain two cases, that is employment outside and 182 days rule, I will be considered as an Indian person and taxed in India. So if for X company I'm working in America or I'm working in Australia, I need to pay the tax in India because my residential income is transferred to the India and expenses are made in India. Now, how to calculate residential status? Basically, these steps are only hypothetical because you never been asked how to do calculation. This is only part of theory for your syllabus. But in actual place, when you're filing a return, you have to first log into incometax.gov.in. You have to fill your credit, that is where you're earning, what is your salary, what is your PAN number, TAN number, and so on. Your PAN number will have all the details regarding your bank accounts, your employment, your Form 16, Form 26B. Now, Form 16 is a declaration of your income, and Form number 26B is a declaration of your deductions made for the income tax. So, these updates, once you fill, you have to click and edit details, and then there is a resident drop down where you can fill your residential status. After you submit all the details and documents, you will recognize either resident, non-resident, ordinary, and non-ordinary. So, in real world, you may be coming to India as a visit, or you may be just moving around for the different purposes. You need to understand whether you're resident or not. Because if your PAN is active, that is your PAN number is active, and you're earning income outside, suppose it's Dubai or it's in UK, and you're transferring to your family in India, then your NRI status may be there as per passport, but you have to pay the tax as a regular person in India. Similarly, if India has agreement of double taxation avoidance, in that case, if person pay the tax in other country, he will get deductions or he will get concession for tax payment in India. In many cases, if NRI has incorrect residential status, then his accounts will be blocked and whatever the investments, either in share market or physical assets, they are seized and accountable for fine up to 1 lakh rupees. So, declaration of financial status is very crucial and important when you concern to the tax matters. So, to summarize about residential status, it is a status of an individual based on his physical presence in India. There are two basic conditions and two advanced conditions. If I meet with the basic conditions and advanced condition, I'm ordinary resident. In all cases, I'm paying tax. But if I only meet the basic conditions or not advanced condition, then I'm ordinary, then I'm a resident and not ordinary. In that case, income earned in India and income transfer in India or expenses out of foreign income made in India, they are taxable. But if I'm not meeting a single basic condition, then I'm called as a non-resident. And if not meeting also advanced condition, then I will call as non-resident which is not meeting any condition. Then in such a case, only special cases I am taxable. For all other reasons, I will not be taxable in India. So let's see a flow chart. What I need to do, I need to maintain a detailed record of dates of my entry in country and exit from my country. Then I need to update my profile in income tax site. I need to update the profile with my PAN, seek the expert's advice, what is my status, and file my return. So why this is important? Because once I understood my residence status, it will help to manage my tax liability effectively. I can become vigilant and I can get the benefits of changing regulations, and with the proper documentation, I can master my resident status. So when I'm a global person traveling across the globe, earning more than one resource or global resource, I always need to consider understanding my resident status is the most important thing which I need to follow. So this is all about residential status. Now let me share the screen for our game activity. In chat box, I'm sharing the link. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm sharing the link. Please, please keep your link active. I shared the link in chat box. You can just open that. I'm again going to play this game, but those who are able to open the chat box, they can just join it. Please click on the see the chat box, open the code.it, and you can just click on join game. In join game, please enter the game pin 977316 so that you can join. One player is start added. So others please join it immediately. There are only 10, 20 questions. What you're going to deal. You need to type, okay. Please write at least your first name so that we can recognize who is there. Or even you just mention the roll number. It is 6:46. I'll wait up to 2 minutes. Then at 6:48, we'll start this. We have three players. Okay, Ankita just left. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just start it. At least one player should be there. Others, please join immediately.
हॅलो
Please.
नवीन सर मी
Please.
जॉईन केलंय तिथे पण आय गेस कनेक्शनचा प्रॉब्लेम येतोय
ठीक आहे. What I'll do, with the three
मला
players, I'll
फक्त
start
एवढंच
it
येतंय
now.
युअर नेम
Okay, I started the quiz. Let's see what happens. Now, these three people, they have participated. Now, these are the questions you can see on a screen. What you need is multi-choice questions. You just click on the right answer. Are you able to see the answers? Those who are not participating, again, till now, they also can join. The first question is, what is direct tax? So let's see. Nobody has given the right answer. The second question, what is indirect tax? You got 5 seconds. Please click on answer fast. Okay, we got one right answer. So AP has scored.
हॅलो
Other people, yes, please. Now,
सॉरी
income
सर
tax
बट
is an
मला
example.
फक्त ना कलर दिसतात कलर
Okay, for time being today, I'll do that later one. For next time, we can do it. Those who can able to give answers. तुम्हाला screen दिसते? Okay, I'll read the question for you. The next question is GST is an example of, in red, direct tax, in yellow, capital tax, in blue, indirect tax, and green, property tax. Red is direct tax, blue, indirect tax. So correct answer is indirect tax. So if I find Ritesh is doing good score, the next is, which of the following is a taxable income? Red color, agriculture income; blue color, salary; yellow color, scholarship; and green color, dividend from mutual fund. Which is taxable income? Red color, agriculture income; yellow, scholarship; blue, salary; and green, dividend. So who is the leader? Ritesh is still leading. Now next question, what is agriculture income? Red, income from IT sector; yellow, income from farming; blue, income from rent; and green, income from dividend. So red is for IT, yellow is for farming, blue is for rent, and green is for dividend. Okay, the answer is farming. Now let's see who is topper. So Suhani, you are scoring good. Let's see for the others. Is agriculture income is taxable in India? Red, yes; blue, no; yellow, about 10 lakhs; and green, only in metro cities. The correct answer, no agriculture income is taxable. Let's see who is on top. So it is Suhani who is given maximum right answers and score high. Now next question, who is a considered person under the law? Only individual, only Indian citizen, individual, HUF, company, etc. And green is only companies. So red is only person, yellow is only Indian citizen, blue is individual, HUF, company, etc. And green is only companies. So correct answer is individual, HUF, and company. Let's see who is leading. So again, the Swan is top score. So next question. An assessee is a person who red color file ITR, yellow color salary, blue color assess under tax law, and green color no income. Okay, three people answer. He is assessed under tax law is the correct answer. Let's see who is the leader. So Suwan is still leading. Next, what is an assessment year? Red color income is earned, yellow calendar year, blue year after income earned, and green before income year. So we got two blue answers, income earned, yellow one and green one. So it is nothing but the income earned. So Suwania again leading, only Ankita able to score additional, so she climbed one step. Then what is previous year? Red assessment year, yellow income is earned, and blue year before ITR is filed, and green after assessment year. Okay, so it is previous year is a year before ITR filed. So blue is the right answer. So Suhani continue to lead. Now, since there are less participants, what I can do, I can go with the five more questions and then we'll stop. In 25-26, refer income earned in if 25 assessment year 25-26 refers to income earned in yellow 24-25, sorry, red 24-25, then yellow 25-26, blue 23-24, and green 25-26. Let's see who is reading. Okay, now Ritesh is leading. Swani is 4 down. So we'll complete 15 questions and then we'll go with our next part. So this is 13 question. What is gross total income? Red, income before deductions. Yellow, net salary. Green, blue, tax-free income, and green, agriculture income. Red, income before deduction. Yellow, net salary. Blue, tax-free income, and green, agriculture income. So correct answer is income before deduction. So one person only able to give the answer. So let's see who is the leading. Again, Suwani scored well. Now this is second last question. What is total income? What is total income? Red, gross income after deduction. Yellow, income after tax. Blue, only salary income. And green, deduction added to income. The correct answer is gross income after deductions. Now the last question, even though 30 questions are there, we'll take the next question as the last question. HUF stand for red, Hindu urban family, yellow, house under fund, blue, Hindu undivided family, and yes, the correct answer is, so Ritesh has stopped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip now the question so that I will go. I'm skipping the questions. Please wait. There are 30 questions, but since the participants are very less, I'll skip the questions and we'll just go with the result. Those students who are not participated, they will have to solve answers of 10 questions which I'm going to share. Those students who has participated in this quiz, they will be having exemption to solve the 10 questions which I'm going to share. Shall I give one more question? Okay. Now the last question I'm keeping open as a competition. So last question now, and this will decide who is the winner. Taxable income is calculated using red total income minus deduction, yellow agricultural income plus gross total income, blue gross total income plus deductions, and green income after penalty. Now see the final results. So third Ankita, second Suhani, and first is Ritesh. So I have five people who has participated in the Kahoot game activity. So all these five people need not required to solve any questions which I shared. They just need to provide me the screenshot of their scores. And apart from these five people, all finance specialization students need to solve the 10 questions which I'm going to share tomorrow morning via email. So that's about the first unit of direct tax. Tomorrow we'll start the second unit of direct tax, that is salary. Please don't miss the session and whatever the activities you take an active part of C. Anybody has any doubt? What is the part we have covered today? If no doubt, please thank you for attending the meeting. Now you can join the other session after this. So I'm leaving the meeting. You are also suggested to leave this meeting and join the other meeting.